Travel with me now. To the south, to the front porch of my grandmother and grandfather, and listen to this tale. This story does not come from my grandparents, but it hails from my hometown, Salisbury, North Carolina. I heard this tale for many years. I have seen this tale written in many other books. I have no way of knowing that it's true, but I heard it, and I still hear it. Salisbury, North Carolina, just happens to be a two-college town. Livingstone College on one side of town and Catawba College on the other. The highway crossing in the middle of Catawba College is Highway 601. It leads way out into the county of Rowan, which is the county seat. Salisbury is the county seat of Rowan. Some years ago, in the spring, there was a dance. And two young men who lived off the campus about 5 miles from Catawba on Highway 601 drove down the road one night, headed for the spring dance. And both of them looked at one another and said, "Neither one of us have dates. We should be ashamed to be going to this." "Well," said the other one, "we couldn't find dates, so we'll just go and take somebody else's." And as they drove along, they noticed that it started to rain just a bit. They slowed the car down. And when they did, they saw a young woman walking along the road in an evening dress. And they both said, "Aha." They blew the horn, and the young woman turned, smiled, and waved. And they pulled the car to the side of the road. She stopped, and one of them got out and said, "We've seen you around campus." They had never seen her before. "Are you going to the dance?" "Oh, yes," she said, "I am." "Well, come on, it's raining. Get in." "Oh, thank you," she said. Her only wrap was a thin piece of material, netting, that matched the dress, which was a deep, bright lavender color. She wrapped it around her arms and settled in between the two young men. And they introduced themselves, and she said, "My nickname is Lavender." And they looked at one another and said, "Hi." They arrived on campus, and both of them escorted Lavender into the dance, and they had a wonderful evening. All three of them laughed and danced and enjoyed the dance. And the young man who was the driver asked Lavender before the evening was up, "Can we take you home?" "Oh," she said, "you don't have to take me home. I live so far in the country." "Oh, we don't mind. I don't mind. You see, my friend will ride back with me." "Oh," she said, "that's fine." So after the dance, they drove slowly down Highway 601. And they talked. And both of them said, "Well, is it all right? Can we see you again?" And she said, "Yes, we'll all be friends." She said, "But I won't get to see you so often because I work." "Oh, we work too," they said. "It's the only way we're in school." And then she looked down the road and she said, "It's so far to my home and I'm a little cold. It's getting cold." "Oh," said the young man who was not the driver, "take my coat." And he removed his coat and put it around Lavender, and she said, "That feels good. Thank you." And then she watched. And then she said, "Do you see those mailboxes on the road? If you will pull your car just beyond them, I'll get out and I can walk up the path. The road is not so good into my house." "Oh, my goodness," he said. "This car has been everywhere. Just sit still. We'll take you down the road. Is this the road?" "Yes," she said, "but no need to do that. I can walk from here." "No. Sit quiet. I'll drive down." And he did. And he stopped the car. And she got out. And they said, "We'll walk you to the door." "No need," she said. "I'm fine." And she disappeared into the night away from the headlights. And she went into the house so quickly that they never saw the door open. And they both looked at one another and said, And the young man said, "What are you laughing at? My coat's gone." "Oh," said the driver, "we'll come back tomorrow. That will be our excuse." And the young man without the coat said, "Okay." They talked about the time they had. And they drove back home, excited about finally meeting someone at the college, a young woman at that. The next morning, bright and early, they were dressed and ready to go. "Let's go," but it's too early. It's 7:00. So they waited until 10, and they drove down the road. But something was wrong. They couldn't find that driveway. That driveway with the row of mailboxes. Is this it? Or is that it? So they came from both directions. Finally, they decided it's one of these roads, but look, the one that it should be is all grown up. Last night it was clear. Where did those weeds and trees come from? I'm gonna drive down the road. And they did. And there in front of them was an old house. And no one had lived in that house for a long time. This can't be the place. The driver got out and he looked around. There were broken windows. And the house was falling in. This can't be the place. And his friend got out and they walked around the house. And they looked in through the windows. No one had lived in that house for a long time, but this was the house. They remembered, but why didn't we see this last night? Where did she go? And the young driver went to one side, and the other young man went to the other, searching and looking and wondering if there's another house somewhere. And the young driver stood at a back porch and climbed the dilapidated stairs and peered into a back window. And as he looked deeper into the house, he heard something out front that sounded like, "Ah!" He quickly called out to his friend, "What is it? Are you all right? What's wrong? Come here," he said, "come here." And he followed the sound of his friend's voice. And there was a little picket fence about a foot tall that enclosed a little grave site. There were 3 stones, and across that middle stone was the young man's coat. And when he lifted the coat from the stone, the words across the stone read, "Lavender, may she rest in peace." And that's the end of that.